Hello all, happy new year, and I am coming to you with some gifts. This first gift of the season will be Save and Continue for Nintex Workflow Cloud, due to be released this week. Today is the 6th of January, so it should be here by the end of the week for all Nintex Workflow Cloud tenants. And it is the ability to save a draft form. So think all these really huge forms or a particular process that needs you to sort of check in and check out at different things. A little bit like a good film, some forms are constructed in takes. You might need to revisit it. Not always an option to leave the browser window open, so you're probably going to want a draft. Now, really, really easy configuration, but it's quite impactful. So I need a form as my start event, and they are only available to authenticated users because a draft will appear in My Nintex when you've submitted it. The option in the configuration does appear on anyone with the form URL, but if you send that out to Joe Bloggs, member of the public, they're not going to have access to My Nintex. If they click onto the Save button, it will actually error. So I'm going to design the form. It's not going to be a very fancy form, but lots of use cases for these sort of things. I've already talked about, if it's a huge form and you want to save it, hits 5 o'clock, or you need to go but you've not finished your form, you can do that. But also there are reasons that a save is quite important. You think about all the events that Christian's been to. He's had a couple drinks. He meets someone who's interested in Nintex, but he forgets to get their phone number or their email address. But he's going to maybe see them at the event tomorrow. He's going to be able to follow up with a saved form that will remind him to get that information. So let's use that use case as our option here. I'm going to drag a couple of things across. So let's call this Christian's lead gen form or lead capture form. I'll just make this a little bit larger. What's he going to need? Well, he's going to need the name of the person. He's going to need their company. He's going to need their email. And he's probably going to get their phone number too. Let's just give them some options. So name, company, email address, and let's say mobile. And you'll see at the moment there is no option to save the form. All I can do is submit this instance. And that's where the action panel comes in. So traditionally, the action panel has been for the name of the submit text, using Google reCAPTCHA if supported, and also your redirect options. And there's a new option here called Save, and I want to toggle this on, and I can change the text if need be. Call it Save a Draft maybe. Apply changes. This one, I'm not going to really do anything fancy with the workflow because it's not really a workflow based. It doesn't initiate a workflow anyway when you click on save. So not hugely important here. Let's just pop that in, publish the workflow. And then we shall see this one in action. So I'm just going to call it Chris Save, publish. And this is the start of really Nintex Workflow Cloud becoming far more of a sort of portal play, persisting data, rather than simply a middleman or a vehicle or a gateway to lots of other systems. We're still going to do that, but adding this capability is certainly beefing up the opportunity. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open this form up. All right, so I'm Christian. I'm at a Microsoft event. I've had a couple of sherbets. Someone starts chewing my ear off about Nintex, but then they have to make a dash, and I'm thinking, oh, I forgot to get John from IBM's email and his mobile number so I can send him more information. So I can save that one as a draft. I can pop out of that form. And the next day, as all good people do, Christian comes to his My Nintex in his Nintex Workflow Cloud environment, which has got all of his lovely forms that he's going to use to get through the day. But then he sees his draft form. He's got his last activity, so when it was last saved, telling you when it's going to expire as well. Now, the content here is stored in the Azure deployment where Nintex Workflow Cloud is. So if it's an Australian-based data center, it's going to be stored there for the period upon which it is stated here, unless deleted or resubmitted before that. You get the option to delete it if it's no longer required. If maybe that guy came up to Christian and said, look, mate, not really interested anymore. We're going with Power Automate or something silly. So Christian can delete it. Clicking on the form name will bring you back into that saved draft. Christian can then go and finish this off. So let's say it's, yep, it is actually John Smith. Hey, mate, what was your email address again? What was your mobile number? Okay, cool. Got it. Submit. And that will then go and submit. It will start whatever workflows off the back of it. That draft will also disappear. Once the form has been submitted, draft forms will disappear. So you're not sort of resubmitting draft forms and so on. So form submitted successfully, and that has already disappeared. So there's a bit of an auto as well, which is pretty cool. So that is Save and Continue, due for release this week. Blogs are being done. Everything is going to be out. Yeah, really cool. Good way to start the year.